When we decide to watch a movie, we typically check who the actors are, what the plot is about, who's the director, and then enjoy the movie. Simple. But have you ever stopped to ponder what really went on behind the scenes of the movie you've just watched? And it doesn't matter if you liked it or not, was terrible or brilliant, because up until you've watched it, there could have been hell making it. In this video, we take a look at some known movies you've probably seen and watched before, but didn't really know that directors hated their leading actors. From a director who hated George Clooney's playing style, to a director who didn't get along with the film star on his debut movie directing, here are directors who loathed their leading actors. George Clooney and David O. Russell. After Clooney reviewed the script for David O. Russell's action comedy film Three Kings, he really wanted to be part of it, seeking for the legitimacy of Hollywood back then. However, Russell wasn't a fan of Clooney and actually hated his style of acting, which he considered a lot of head bobbing and mugging for the camera. The first choice of the director to play the part of US Army Special Forces Major Archie Gates was Nicolas Cage, but he declined the offer. Russell had no choice but to award the part to Clooney. This was no honeymoon, I can tell you, and if things started off bad, they only deteriorated as Clooney was struggling with Russell's constant coaching and improvisational directing style. Things really exploded when Russell threw an extra to the ground to demonstrate how he wanted the extra to treat Ice Cube in the scene they were filming. Clooney didn't appreciate this behavior at all, and the two got physical and were brawling on set to the point where they had to be dragged apart. It is said that since then, the two had buried the hatchet, but it's unclear whether they'll work together again. Thank you for choosing to watch our video. If you enjoyed so far, please like it and subscribe to support our channel. We truly appreciate it. You can also hit the bell icon to get notified when we upload new videos to the channel. Now, let's continue. Edward Norton and Tony Kaye. American History X was Tony Kaye's debut as a film director, so you'd think there's no way he'd have any feuds and tackles with the star of the film, right? Wrong. As it turns out, Kaye didn't want Edward Norton for the lead role, and his first choice was actually Joaquin Phoenix. He only agreed to give Norton the part since he didn't have time to cast someone else instead. Shooting of the film went quick and lasted only 45 days. Afterwards, Kaye produced a rough cut of the film that pleased both Norton and the studio, but then things went south. Norton and New Line Studio gave pages of notes to Kaye on how to make his cut better. He, of course, did not take it so well. The fight between the two sides was so bitter to the point where Kaye was banned from the editing room. New Line let him back in for a year, but when he wanted to completely rework the film, New Line gave the reins over to Norton. In response, Kaye took out ads in trade publications disparaging the project, scuttled the film's premiere at the Toronto Film Festival, and, at the end, fought to remove his name from the movie altogether. Norton later said that Kaye is no victim but to his own professional and spiritual immaturity. Over the years, Kaye has calmed down and agreed that he did a lot of insane things in the past. Shelley Duvall and Stanley Kubrick. Back then, Shelley Duvall had inadequate training as an actress and spent her early career working with directors like Robert Altman and Woody Allen. Things changed dramatically when she had to work with perfectionist director like Stanley Kubrick, who directed her in the movie The Shining. In the movie, Duvall plays as Wendy Torrance, a mom who tries desperately to protect her son, and her husband, played by Jack Nicholson, turns mad, and her part wasn't easy and very demanding. Duvall later said that Kubrick can do some pretty cruel things, like shooting scenes over and over again, as many as 127 times. Many believed that Kubrick was intentionally wearing down Duvall in a way that would heighten her character's desperation. With that said, Emilio D'Alessandro, who was Kubrick's longtime assistant, said that Duvall's insecurity as an actor annoyed the director. Just like that, in order to get the best of her, and because she annoyed him as well, he put her through hell on set. Wesley Snipes and David Goyer. The first two Blade films were successful, which brought up the hype for the third movie in the installment as well. After Blade Trinity was released, audiences and fans were extremely disappointed from the end result, and there was a good reason why the film ended up a flop. Production of the movie was very troubling, including and mostly due to the fact that the star of the movie, Wesley Snipes, and writer-director David Goyer didn't get along. Details to what occurred during production came to light during a $5 million lawsuit filed by Snipes a year after the film was released. In it, Snipes claimed that he never approved of the director or the script, which he thought had a juvenile level of humor, and that this was a breach of his contract. He continued and added there was racial discrimination during the casting process. But that's not juicy enough for you, right? Okay, here it is. According to Patton Oswalt, during filming of the movie, Snipes choked Goyer on set after they had a disagreement. In response, Goyer enlisted the biker gang to act as a security, which unnerved Snipes to the point that he refused to interact with Goyer. According to Oswald, Snipes interacted with Goyer only by post-it notes, which he would sign from Blade. Faye Dunaway and Roman Polanski. Faye Dunaway enjoyed an A-list status thanks to her memorable roles in movies during the late 60s and early 70s, was used to having a collaborative relationship with directors. However, this wasn't the case with Roman Polanski, who directed her in the movie Chinatown. When Dunaway had inquiries about the motivation of her character in the movie, Polanski would snap and bark at her, yelling, "Your salary is your motivation." Polanski had a reputation of being a dictator on set, while Dunaway considered herself a star and did not go out of her way to flatter the director or the crew. The relationship between the two worsened when Polanski snuck up behind Dunaway and plucked a stubborn hair that he claimed was ruining his shot. It escalated from there, and Dunaway threw what was reportedly a cup of urine in Polanski's face. These days, Dunaway refuses to talk about the incident, while Polanski has called Dunaway unhinged. Thank you for watching. Who is your favorite film director? Let us know in the comments. Reminding you to like our video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to support our channel. We truly appreciate it. Also, hit the bell icon to get notified when we upload new videos to the channel. Have a wonderful day.